Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, and like I've heard that all the time.
My favorite people are. I was raised by my white family. Like, that's why I'm so colonized.
Nice.
But
And safe.
yeah, white people do say that all the time.
Yeah.
I was born in the wrong era.
I have some questions to ask you guys.
Yeah,
We'll
do
ask
it
later.
now.
Because like, I would like to know what was going through your guys' heads when I was like messaging you when I like relapsed. I think it's funny, by the way, when I said I've released, and you guys just thought I meant release.
Yeah,
You guys know I don't know how to spell.
I know. I was so
Yeah.
drunk when you sent that, Arturo. So when I remember reading it and being like, what? And then putting my phone down.
Yeah. Half your text messages don't make sense anyway.
Yeah.
So when you typed, guys, I realized last night, blah 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 blah.
I was like,
You-
released
You wrote the word realized instead of relapsed, and that's like a key. Like
But
that changes the whole sentence.
What
right
I thought
there.
what I thought was funny was like there's like a 5, like not like there's like a 4, 5 message riff,
Oh yeah, we made a bunch of jokes directly after it.
I did.
and then like
releasing what?
I mean,
Released from jail?
Yeah, releasing me from the cage. And like,
Yeah. But we
And then I
Later
sobered up
circled
and I
back.
was like, oh no.
we
I think
circle
you
back
meant
and we
something
remember
else.
that you have stubby thumbs and you don't care about
Yeah, you don't
Grammar.
give a fuck. You're like, figure
grammar.
it out.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about grammar. You just kind of you're bowling with letters. You just kind of like
It's like a fun game.
yeah. If it gets to the other end of the lane, like you're good.
Yeah.
yeah, that's all it
You don't have to get all the
means.
pins.
Signal.
You don't have to get all the
But
points.
I thought
You
it'd be
just fucking
I thought it'd be
throw
interesting to know what was going inside his brains, because now I'm like on step
I
5.
was really
bitches.
conflicted. I was
Yeah.
like, do I party with Arturo or
You weren't going to party with me. I was just gonna get drugs from you.
Yeah.
Probably spend like $2,000.
I'm offended.
Like
I wanted to party with you. I'm just kidding. I really was like, just like, oh.
Do you feel? Did you feel conflicted? Because like on one hand, you'd be giving me drugs. On the other hand, you'd have like 3.
I wouldn't be giving you drugs.
Well, you'd get the profit, no? Aren't you? You get no profit? There's no finder's
We're
fee?
recording.
Oh!
No, there's a finder's fee.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I'll do it.
You can now.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
You had your chance.
Damn it.
I don't know. You've relapsed a handful of times since I've known you, and you've
You
always
say it like that.
huh?
Just kidding.
Oh, fucking shady bitch.
Um,
that.
and you've always been like pretty honest, like when it happens and stuff like that. So like, I don't know. The first time
Yeah.
you told me about it, I was probably a bit more worked up about it than like now, because now I know that you've made like a conscious effort to be on the road to recovery. And like you said, you've been building certain aspects of your life to make yourself accountable and to yourself and to like other people. So like I know that you've sort of like insulated yourself from going like completely off the rails. If you relapse, I still take it seriously, obviously.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you being honest and like telling me and stuff like that. But I'm not like worried for your well-being. Like I know that you're gonna be okay.
Cool.
Like I know that you're resilient. I've seen you go through this enough, and I've seen you
Pick yourself
continually
back up.
like work at being better. So like that part of me, that concern is quelled. Like
That's nice. I honestly feel like a lot better. I'm sorry to like circle it back to me, but like I just really wanted to talk about this.
That's totally fine.
You seem like you're feeling better.
I feel really good. I feel happier.
Like
I'm
you
less
seem more energetic.
I'm less like stressed. I'm okay with like I'm working on like 4. Well, now this is 5th, but I'm working on 5 videos right now, and like it's not stressful work. It's just like, oh well, like this is fun. I'll do this for a little bit. Oh, now this is fun. We'll do this for a bit. It's like boop 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 boop. It's like it feels good, and even at work I feel good and stuff like that. And I think that really went to just like realizing like what's good and bad, and also I'm doing more step work, and I have a better sponsor, and like I'm already on step 5. And one of the steps I had to do was I had to tell my sponsor or someone I trust every bad thing I've ever done. and it was so scary. Because there's some things I'm going to take to the grave. But it was interesting, like, telling him the worst things I've ever done in my life, like, on drugs. Because, like, it was so releasing, and, like, it felt like... It was like I was working in a kitchen, and, like, I fucked up really bad. And my chef came up to me, and he was like, hey, do it again. You know? Like, it was like that. Like, like I told him everything bad I've ever done. Like, such horrendous fucking stuff that I fucking hate. And he was like, is that it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, next. And, like, it was so cool to hear that kind of, like, approval. Like, that be like, what... Hey, you're fine. Like, next step. Like, I think that's
it's like an acceptance.
Yeah, like that. Like it was good to hear that. Like, what's the next step? Like you're on the next step.
Like, give you a little bit of perspective, maybe.
Yeah, and it was good. And then I had to sit in silence for like 1 hour by myself, and not talk. And it's interesting because like I've always felt like I'm independent.
Yeah.
Like I've always had a job. I've been like living on my own since I was 18. I've had my own place since I was 18, and like stuff like that. I've been always paying bills and like yada yada yada. And I've always thought of myself as independent, but I've always had this voice in the back of my head, like, coercing me to, like, do drugs, you know, like, telling me, like, we should do some drugs, like, and so stupid. I would, like, argue with this voice, and the voice would be like, you worked 8 hours today, we should get an 8 ball. I'm like, okay. You know, and I have, like, a 20-minute conversation with this fucking voice.
It does, like, the bargaining thing.
Yeah. But
you've been so good.
Yeah, but then, like, in that 1 hour... I didn't hear that voice, and I still haven't heard that voice, which is really cool. So,
that's like
for the first time ever, I always thought I was independent, but in that hour and now, this is the first time I'm actually independent. Because, like, if I do talk about drugs or I think about drugs, it's like, it's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to riff on drugs or if I want to talk about drugs, it's like, I'm saying it because I want to say it. Yeah. I'm not saying it because the back of my mind wants to do drugs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's really cool.
Yeah. That is really cool. That's almost amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. What if I just started like getting you guys to join the cult? Like I was like, these are the
cult of AA.
CA.
I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing for me. I just need to channel it into a different thing. What you said about the voice, I can't remember a time where I've not had suicidal thoughts, and that it definitely comes as like. Not like a separate voice, but it definitely comes as it feels intrusive, and it's definitely like I identify it as
your thoughts.
Yeah, I identify it as thoughts that my brain is having, and
but they're your sick thoughts. Your sick brain is having those thoughts.
Yeah, like they're intrusive, and I don't want to be suicidal.
Yeah.
But it's just something that is there, and it's been there for a really long time. I can't imagine it not being there. That's actually what's fucked up about it.
Did you fucking ask? I have coronavirus.
Good.
If you have it, we all have it. But yeah, I mean, I would love an uninterrupted hour of just knowing that voice wasn't going to get its turn, because like right now for me, whenever those thoughts come in, they kick down the door. They make themselves feel right
it's
at
very
home.
Loud and just like
they're definitely in charge. Like I definitely can't just like shut it out. Like it takes my attention.
And it's interesting because like the voice used to like I used to start out with my own voice and be like, we're gonna do this today, and then I would talk about my day, and then all of a sudden this voice would be like, cocaine, 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 and like it would get louder. Then I would start talking to that voice, and we just like get into this big fucking scissor fight. And then but now it's not like that. Why does this camera keep turning off?
It's because it's new. It doesn't know its
place.
No,
it's that camera that's fine.
It doesn't know its place. It's jealous.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really interesting, and like also really, really cool that you got to do that.
Such a fucking gong show.
Oh my god, how dare you? We're trying to film!
They don't know that.
Clearly.
There's a fire somewhere. They're saving lives.
They found me!
They're saving lives. Or property, I don't know.
Okay, we have to take one quick break.
Okay. We can do that. Can I go pee?
Yeah, my bathroom's gross and doesn't flush.
I'm just gonna pee in the sink then.
When
Come back to that.
So when I was a kid, I need to make sure the camera's looking at me. Because we don't have what camera?
It's pointed directly at Sausha.
I know, but like
You gotta get in here.
Okay, this is good. Should I light it? Like, no.
Okay.
So when I was a kid.
Do you want? Wait.
Yeah, put some scary music on.
I was gonna say you're telling a ghost story. Do you want? Do you want to tell it like this? So it was one time when I was a kid. Do you want to tell it like that?
Tell it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so really quick. When I was a kid, me and my grandpa, and my sister, we decided to put a kite up in, like, we were flying a kite, and then he tied it to a tree, and we went fishing. We left the kite there to see, like, it would still be there when we came back. It was nighttime when we came back. We were walking through the park. The kite was not flying. Then we heard some noises, and we saw this, like, greyhound looking figure walking around us.
Like a dog?
Like a figure.
Greyhound looking figure.
Like a
dog?
Hound?
No.
Or like an actual like greyhound?
Like a greyhound.
the
Or like
breed
a
of
bus.
Like a greyhound.
Okay, so
like
that
the dog.
particular breed of dog.
But it wasn't a dog.
Okay.
It was a greyhound figure.
It was a spirit.
I just needed to know how big it was.
Okay. And then, but it was walking weird, and it looked like it had like 4 legs. Wait,
So
that's
like a
normal.
dog?
Wait, 5 legs. It looked weird.
Okay, there was something off about it.
Yeah, and then my sister went close to it, and she got pregnant. Just kidding. My sister went close to it. Sausha, listen. My sister went close to it, and it like bolted, like boom,
At her?
like a greyhound.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And then we think it was like a dead, because it was by this nursery home for old people. We think it was a dead person, like a dead old lady or something that was like coming to visit us.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
but it could have just been like
It could have been a greyhound.
It could have definitely been a dog.
Why do you say greyhound? Because it was like hunched over and it had like
It looked
the
like a
back
greyhound.
Like maybe it was a werewolf.
No, I've seen a werewolf too, and they look different. It
What
looked
about a
like
Sasquatch?
it looked like a greyhound.
It looked like
Okay,
like an
yes.
Italian greyhound.
Okay, this other time.
Yeah.
Okay, this other
I need a
time.
real ghost story, you bitch.
That was spooky.
That was okay.
Okay, so this one time, my sister and all her friends were having a party downstairs, like a kid party, like chips and dip and shit. And they came up screaming.
What a bunch of babies.
Funny you say that. Because apparently they saw this thing jumping on their bed. It looked like a They saw this thing jumping on their bed, and they say that you can see the little piggy tails go up and down like a little girl.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah.
And it was just like jumping on her bed. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't she join the party? What a fucking weird little bitch.
She was trying to.
What
She
an
was playing with
introverted little
her-
bitch.
Like, what? I like you're mad dog and these ghosts.
Yeah, bitch. Gotta remove the power. Oh my god.
Do you have a ghost story that you want to tell?
I have a couple. I don't know.
Before my battery dies?
Oh god, no. I don't want that.
You don't want the spirit?
No, I don't want that.
That's okay. We'll turn it off then.
I can just make light. Nothing. Never mind. Go on.
Excuse me?
I can make.
I think it's fine. I don't know what you're weird about. Also, if we move, never mind.
Yeah, I want to talk about the spacing more, but go on with your ghost story.
Okay, wait.
It's like, are you afraid of the dark?
I know, right? Okay, let me think. Okay, so one time, a lot of my weird experiences like happened lately when my uncle was going through psychosis. We were hanging out together, and he's been in a very delicate mental headspace lately. And I don't know if that's like TMI, but I feel like it's important for the story. So one time, like it was like last year, and we both hung out at this strip club together.
Uh-huh.
And that, like, he's been going to this club since he was like younger, like I like worked there for a little bit, and like I know the owner too now, so like we just like would hang out there together. And so while he's and his I don't really know, like we basically went there one night after he got out of the I'm sorry, I'm trying to like timeline it in my head. I think this happened the second time he like went to the hospital. It was before he went to the hospital. And so when this happens, he gets a little like witchy. Okay, so like a
warlock.
Like he wants to do spells and rituals.
Is this the guy that like read my energy one time and like placed a stone all over my arm? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's him. I love him so much. But he so like basically we like I think we did like a show. Like he came to one of my shows, and then we went back to the club with one of our friends, and it was closed at the time, so it was just us hanging out, and because my uncle was like the manager, bar manager or whatever, like it was a weird time, but like we were hanging out there, and so while we were driving there, a song started playing on his phone, and it was like a U2 song, and my grandpa was a very big fan of U2, and he's passed now, but it's something that affected my uncle very much, and so it affected all of us very much, but like he like when it started playing, he kind of went like, oh my god, like that's crazy, because he's like, I didn't play that song, I swear to god I didn't play it, and so we're like, oh, that's so weird, and so we like get to the club, and it like we get there and we're like getting settled in, and we go to he goes to like the booth to turn on the music, and it like the speakers are up like way too high when he turns it on, and it's playing the song. Well, and also it could have just been like, now that I think about it, like he could have just pressed play on his music, and that's why the song was playing. But like the song started playing, so it was a weird moment. And then, but when it happened, it was so weird because it felt like the energy shifted in the room. I don't know how to describe it. It was almost like the speakers blew, and like it was just like an atomic bomb wave of like just like weird energy. Yeah, it was weird, and so we all kind of like were on edge, and then we hear like this thumping sound coming from like the back where the dancers get ready, and we're like, what is that noise? Like that's so weird. And so our friend goes to like investigate, and she's like, guys, I don't really see anything, and so we all go like back there, and like we're all kind of looking for like a solid 30 seconds, and all of a sudden the mirror starts like moving.
Ooh.
like back and forth onto the wall. Yeah, I know, and I was like, oh my god, that's a portal. Ew. And then so we were like investigating, thinking maybe it was a mouse or something, but like we hadn't really seen mice there before, and like we thought maybe it was the window, but like the window was too high up off the ground for someone to like touch, and like also super boarded up. So like it was too weird and like maybe it was a wind, but there was no window open.
There was something going on.
It was so weird. It was so weird. So yeah, that happened. And then we went to like a graveyard, and like, it was just whack. Yeah. It was whack.
I have one really quick one.
Ooh.
So it was a while ago. I was driving back from like a trip in the mountains with my girlfriend at the time, and I had one of those old like FM tuners for your car. So you get a specific station, and then that like hooks up with your iPod or whatever. Yeah. So it's a bit
like a Bluetooth, but like an FM radio kind of
thing. It's an FM transmitter. Yeah. So it's a bit old school.
Right.
And like the way those things work is like you need to find an empty station so that you can use your device.
Right.
And that's like tough nowadays, but back then it was like a little bit more, you had a bit more freedom. So anyway, we're driving back, and I have that thing tuned to my station that only my device can play through.
Yeah.
We get around this bend, and my music cuts out, and this like extremely creepy music starts playing. You guys ever seen like the old Jeepers Creepers movies?
Yeah.
And then like that song comes on the radio, and it's just like Jeepers Creepers. where'd you get them peepers? It was something like that. It was like old timey or like Tiptoed Through the Tulips. Have you ever heard that song? So it sounded something like that. Yeah, and so we get around the bend and like that kicks on at like full blast because like that's how I like to listen to my music. And we just get like assaulted with this like creepy ass fucking music, and we both kind of like look at each other and we're like, we're not stopping here, like we're not gonna stop. We're the only car on the road. And then like we just kept driving and we went around another bend and then it cut off, and I was like, that was legitimately like spooky.
That's so weird.
Right? Like I would definitely, like if I had gotten a flat tire in that specific strip of road, I would have been like, it's a movie now. One of us is dying.
I have one story before we end.
Also, I forgot to mention that we did a Ouija board that night at the club.
Oh, we should do a Ouija board.
We should do a Ouija board.
Not my home.
That's too real.
We can do it in my home before my lease is up because I'm convinced my apartment's haunted, and I don't want to do it before I have to live there, but we can do it like before I move out. So
let's talk to some spirits.
Okay. So this happened to my mom like before I was even born. Okay. So she used to like make pottery and stuff like that, like out of clay and whatnot. And she was one time like doing her thing, like making a vase or whatever. And this ghost came up behind her and started making the pottery.
Oh, I hate you.
Was the ghost Patrick Swayze?
No.
He is a ghost now.
Whoa!
Oh my god. That's right. Oh my goodness. So I thought of a funny joke, but it's not that funny. So you know how like Kate Spade, like she's like a designer or was like a designer in New York. Maybe it's not gonna be like all gender funny, but whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, it's this designer. She makes like purses.